The Ballad of Irving. Irving. Big fat Irving. Big sport Irving. The 142nd fastest gun in the West.
Last time, we were following Preston Marlowe and his band of merry men across the middle of somewhere or other, fighting Russians and getting a glimpse of a fortune in gold bars that belonged to a very nasty character. We almost had the gold in our grasp, but the trucks we were chasing crossed a border that's off limits to us. Well, until this happened.
Where did Haggard go?
There's gold in them hills!
Shit, that's a neutral zone. Haggard, fall back.
He can't hear you, Sarge. If he could, he wouldn't listen.
You fight your way across the border using a Russian laser targeter to take out a tank, among other things. Once you catch up with Haggard, the pretty voice on the radio tells Redford that he's facing court-martial for basically invading a neutral country, so his plans to get out tomorrow and go fishing are so far down the drain they're being processed by the sewage plant. So now what?
That was bad, wasn't it? That was bad.
It was bad, Hags. It's about as bad as anything we've ever done. Whatever you've done, it's as bad as that.
Not like Chris Christopherson's third album.
Oh, bad. Worse. Worse.
No way!
Let me think.
So, where does this leave us?
We're here, ain't we?
I was hoping he'd say that.
What?
Where'd those trucks go?
Oh, no, Sarge, you can't be serious.
Yes, I am.
What? You want to go after the gold?
I'll never get any metal from the Army, will I?
The first task is to destroy some antennas so both the bad guys and the Americans can't track you.
Russians inbound! Yeah, they don't... Woo!
At the site of the last antenna, there's a tank you can use to move on to the harbor, where presumably the Legionnaire is taking the gold to get it out of the region. Of course, it's never that easy, so you have at least 2 armored cars and 4 enemy tanks to deal with. At first, I was keeping an RPG as my one other gadget, but later on I found the power tool more useful.
I actually feel kind of sorry for him.
Take out an enemy vehicle, back off to safety, heal your own tank, head to the next enemy. It's a little more convoluted, but it works. Now, you might find a different way, and hey, that's cool. There's more than one way to do all this stuff. You fight your way to the harbor and deal with a ton of mercenaries.
Great shot, kid! Great shot, kid! That was 1 in a million.
And finally, you get to the ship and the gold.
Soldiers of P-Coast, lay down your arms. You are in breach of Army regulations. Lay down your arms or we will take you by force.
Yeah? Says you and what army?
What?
I just always wanted to say that.
Why?
Sounds cool. Really shut him up.
You shut up. Look around.
That army. Say goodbye to the gold.
So, I wonder what jail's gonna be like.
I hear the food's pretty good.
Well, crap. End of the game, right? Nope. Rather than send the 4 of you to jail, the Army has a better idea. You've entered this country, known as Cigaristan. So I'm assuming their principal export is tobacco, right? What? Surdaristan? Well, that's not near as much fun. The country's supposed to be neutral, but it's run by some kind of tin-horn dictator. The Army has an idea.
Explain this one more time. First, they're angry with us for going into Sudaristan, but then they send us back in.
They want us to find Zavamir Sadar.
Zamavir Surgisay?
Zavamir Sadar, father of the people, local dictator and all-around creep. Officially, he's neutral, but he's been playing both sides in the war for a very long time. Maybe his luck ran out. Anyway, we're here to persuade him to come in with us, all undercover style.
So now we can go in and no one's gonna mind.
Officially, the Army's got nothing to do with this. If anyone catches us, we're still AWOL. Now let's find that observation point.
So you go up to the top of a hill and you see this.
Is that a golf course?
Of course it's a golf course. That's what dictators do. Build things they really don't need while their people starve.
I'm glad I'm not one of the groundskeepers for this course, because by the time you get done battling tanks, armored cars, and RPGs across it, there isn't much left. Welcome to your new job as a member of the Sidaristan Deforestation Project. Actually, this happens a lot in this game. I think the programmers were a little too happy about their ability to knock down trees. There's even an achievement for it. Anyway, most of the golf course and beyond is basic game, though Haggard does make one very astute observation.
Man, driving tanks on a golf course. You put that in the Army brochure, enlistment would skyrocket. Forget jumping out of planes and brothers in arms. You just show them driving a tank on a golf course, that's all they'd need.
You get to the presidential palace, where you run into more of those mercenaries and have a huge firefight. Eventually, of course, you win, mostly because you can respawn and they can't. That's a handy ability to have. You battle your way inside the palace and finally meet up with Mr. President.
He thinks we're not being nice. Something about an enema, I think, and he doesn't want to come.
Oh, he done pissed me off. What you... somebody translate this for me. What you really want isn't the question here.
Yeah, I got it. Presidencia, Excellencia. Let me try.
Your Excellency, Mr. President's call?
Haggard, no, you don't speak Serdic. Shut up.
I am in no need of witless translation. My English is whole immaculate,
Well, then you'll have no problem understanding this. We have come to bring you in.
Bring you in.
Just you?
Just us.
For puny military.
For puny military.
Damn it, Haggard!
The Sarge calls in and reports that you have the package. Time for extraction. But Miss July has bad news.
Bravo 1 Charlie, this is Mike 1 Juliet. Leave the package. Repeat, leave the package. And you're not going to like this, Sergeant, but extraction is denied. Over.
Denied? What do we have to do to get the bird here? Over?
I hate to tell you this, boys, but it's not going to happen. We're going for deniability. You're on your own. Over.
What do you mean we're on our own? How do we get out? Over?
Any way you can. This isn't my call, boys. There's nothing I can do. They're telling me to cut you loose. I'm sorry. Out.
Okay, raise your hand if you couldn't see that coming.
Anyone? Anyone?
So now what? The answer comes from an unexpected source.
I may have means for our escape.
Our escape?
I'm afraid the father of Sidaristan people now has no other recourse than exile. It was a mistake to request the services of these mercenaries.
Hang on a minute. The Legionnaire is holding you here?
Well, since I could not deliver the amount of gold he requested, he has appropriated my nation. But I will prevail. The Sidaristan people will rise up and demand the return of their beloved father.
This guy's funny when he's in a hallucinogenic rage.
Gotta love politics. So off you go. Time for you, as Preston, to fly a helicopter.
Now, this is stately transportation for VIP. Quite improper for your unhygienic, smelly bum-bums.
What about the unhygienic decor? I mean, is that a mirror ball? Although I have to confess, a hot tub is a very nice touch.
We start with some practice. Take off, land, shoot the rockets, take over the gunner's seat, that sort of thing. I haven't seen too many games with the huevos to put a tutorial in the middle of the game, and really, I like it. It's another step in the game playing fair. So, we get a good handle on this thing, and then we start encountering targets. Fortunately for you, you have an unlimited supply of missiles. More than once, I had to land the chopper and get out to complete an objective. like this barracks. There's something here that I apparently couldn't get with the missiles and stuff. I'll start by blowing these tanks. Well, that didn't do it. What's left?
Okay, we're done.
That was it? During one of my stops, this happened. Well, no problem, except that it respawned me back at a previous point. Okay, I'll just... where's the chopper? It's clear over there at that other place where I used to was when I got killed. So I'm on foot. But there's a big problem. Okay, now what? Maybe I can hop to one of those pieces there and make my way across. No, that didn't work. And now I'm down on one of the girders. Well, let's see. Crap. For some reason I'm still alive and there's a road over there. So, here we go.
Shake it up, baby, quick and shout. Do the swim, baby, now work it on out. Now, baby, swim. Baby, do the swim.
That road does take you back to where the helicopter is so you can finish this part of the mission. Big surprise. The really strange part about all this is Haggard is with you every step of the way. So he fell off the bridge with you? Dumbest follow the leader player ever. One of your targets is a communications center where you plant some C4 and then do the obvious.
No! No more internet in Sidaristan! No! My love life is over!
I'm not asking.
Ahem.
No, I do not want to know.
You see, he is one of those not-so-rare individuals who has had no actual contact with...
I said I do not want to know. Stop talking.
...the female of the species. Rather, he indulges in...
I can't hear you.
So, do you understand now? Incidentally, I find it rather rude that since the move, I have been relegated to a closet. Someone said something about Harry Potter, but I did not understand it. I would be most happy if...
So you get back into the helicopter and continue. You take out some supply trucks, some attack boats, and other stuff, and it looks like you're in the clear.
What's that noise? We out of fuel? We will crash to our deaths!
Or not.
Remember, there is fuel deposit in Verskaya, downriver, very close.
Okay, so you get to the helipad where the ever-popular smoke is and set it down. What? What kind of helicopter explodes when it runs out of gas, especially when it's only 6 inches from the ground? So I wound up doing it again. And now it's basic shooter game, clearing the way to a fuel truck. You bring it back and Haggard starts fueling the chopper.
What the hell was that? What did you do to the chopper, Haggard?
What? Wasn't me. Honest. I was filling it up and it just blew. You put the gas in there? That's the cooling unit. Oh! Well, excuse me for not reading gobbledygook.
Gobbledygook? Russian is a beautiful language. How can you call this gobbledygook? It says, it says, well, there's halt there and the rest is, never mind. You help hold off the Russians while Sweetwater does the refueling. It takes longer than it should because he takes time out to pet his invisible dog.
Ah, crap. Some more Russians.
Once that's done, you take off again, at which time Haggard demonstrates his ability to teleport. Of course, you don't get far before another helicopter comes up behind and shoots you out of the sky. When you regain consciousness, you learn that the squad's been captured. It's up to you to find and rescue them. Miss July covertly helps you get an approximate location, and away you go. You play ground battle for a while, then it's more basic driving for this game. I do have to admit, this stuff gets repetitive. Drive-aways, fight some Russians, drive some more, fight some Russians. But sometimes you get to do some nifty maneuvers like this. And now and then you get to see something totally weird. Watch this. When did the Russians learn to teleport a tank? Well, I have my laser designator, so let's take it out. There was nothing there. Let's take another look. Okay, this is getting annoying. I wound up going around to the side and designating it from the back. But this is some lazy programming. It doesn't exist until I cross a certain plane? I don't think so. Once it's there, it should stay there. But really, there's a lot of lazy programming in this game. I'll talk about that some more later. For now, we also learn that some of these Russians are tougher than they look. I hit him almost point blank with that rifle grenade, and he got back up. Hey, comrade, I'll trade you body armor. It's a lot better than this guy's. Hey, it doesn't hurt to ask. Farther on, we get to the monastery where the others are being held, fight our way in, and find this.
Hey, Preston, great to see you, buddy.
Now, we thought you were dead for sure. What are you doing here?
Looking for you?
So, you came to rescue us. That's great, man. I mean, well, not really necessary, but thanks anyway.
Well, that was anticlimactic. Anyway, Miss July says there's more hostiles on the way, so we'd better get ready. We still have gold to find. The guys are thinking President Serdar knows where it is, so we want to find him. How?
Have you seen him? Do you know where he is?
Not really, no, but Haggard figures if we just stumble around the monastery for a while thinking happy thoughts, maybe we'll run into him. I mean, that is the plan, right, Haggard?
I wouldn't have put it exactly like that, but yep, pretty much.
Actually, Miss July says there's a lot of activity at the mouth of the river, so he's probably there. That's our next stop. Fighting your way down the mountain is a weird experience because there's no save point until you get back down to that dam where you swam the river earlier. And there's soldiers, armored cars, tanks, and who knows what else between you and that save point, so you can expect to start back at the monastery several times, especially when stuff like this happens. Fortunately, there's plenty of vehicles around, and that's good because this is a long trip. If you want to, you can get a different angle on things while you're driving. By the way, for best results, watch that clip when you're high as f*** or drunk as a skunk. The most troublesome obstacle on this path is a helicopter.
Enemy helicopter!
The chopper follows you back up to the respawn point at the monastery, but of course, your own vehicle doesn't. My big problem here was I didn't really have anything to take it down with. My special gadget at the moment was the laser designator, which is great for tanks, but not so great for helicopters. Ever get the feeling you were trying to pick your teeth with a monkey wrench?
Stay out of rush hour!
Then again, maybe it can be done. And you'll notice I got an achievement for it. Did you see the name of the achievement? I'm resisting the urge to use it again. I'm resisting, nuts, I can't help myself.
Great shot, kid. That was 1 in a million.
Sorry about that. So you finally get down to the dam, and a save point for crying out loud, where Haggard suggests taking a boat. Let's do it.
Ah, shit. Tank.
Well, that didn't work. I managed to get to shore where I met yet another tank which blasted me into itty-bitty pieces. Respawn! Let's try going by land this time thanks to this conveniently placed jeep. And of course you meet that same tank, plus an armored car. Fortunately, there's also a bazooka so you can take the tank out among other things. But it may be a little more difficult than just sneaking up on it and putting a bazooka round up its butt. Okay, this thing takes way too long to reload. But I got it, so I guess that's okay. I probably should have gone back and gotten my laser designator again, but I didn't. So that meant the third time we met this tank, I only had 1 round, and it takes 2 to destroy a tank. So I had to improvise. Hey, it worked, so I'm not gonna knock it. There are more armored cars and other enemies in your way, but I just blew past them. As quickly as I got to what looked like a decent place, and it was a save point even, I hopped out. Back at the last tank, I picked up a power tool. So my plan was to fix the vehicle and get on to the next objective.
I think this is it. We'll ditch the ride and keep a low profile.
Huh? But I was gonna fix the... Oh, wait, we're there. Never mind. And we spot a couple of old friends.
It seems your American friends have escaped. They won't get far.
Those imperialist pigs are not my friends.
You tried to escape from your debts, and they helped you.
It was no escape, but an abduction. Most vile.
I realize now that I will never get the gold you owe me. I will forget about your debt and take your country instead.
Absolutely, not a problem. I will go into exile, live a quiet life.
I'm sure you will. Kill him.
I will not beg for my life.
The Legionnaire was right there. So somebody explained to me why we didn't just shoot him while we had the chance. But he takes off in the helicopter while the soldiers stay behind to shoot the president. We can't have that, so we rescue him. From there, we hop a boat because Mr. President has told us where to find the gold. Down the river we go, and when we get to where that ship with the gold is, we bid Mr. President a fond adieu.
And the president himself? He got the exile he had wished for.
Yes, yes. Harsh, but fair.
Yeah, it's a cliche, and I love it. So now we're going to make our way around this bay to the shipyard. What do we do from there?
We'll try to get as close as possible to that ship. And then...
And then we'll what?
Then we'll improvise.
Okay, guys, am I the only one starting to get cold feet about this?
Yep. Embrace the suck, sweets. Embrace the suck.
Embrace the suck. That just may become an internet signature for me somewhere. Embrace the suck.
It's a good word and bears repeating.
So your task is to make your way around this bay and reach the town of Cadiz where the cargo ship is. Well, sure, that'll be easy, right? All you have to do is deal with countless infantry, a dozen tanks, and some artillery pieces. Simple. Note this place. Once you've cleared it out, you might want to use it a lot. There's an ammo box there, as well as extra bazooka ammo and a power tool. I came back to it half a dozen times after trying to get down the road. This time I came back because there's another tank up the road and I ran out of ammo for my bazooka. Where's that laser designator when I need it? But the bazooka does the job. I just have to keep coming back and back and back for more ammo, because apparently Russia's entire economy is based on building tanks. So while I'm here, I'll bring my vehicle up the hill and repair it. What? The tank followed us? Well, hey, that saves me some time because I don't have to go look for it. Why not? Redford picked up a radio message saying that the Americans are getting pounded by some heavy artillery and he wants to go take out the big guns. This gets more than a little goofy because as you advance, one of your guys says one of the artillery pieces looks like it's still working, so maybe you can use it. You want to use every advantage you get because there are about 8 zillion more tanks firing at you. I took out the guy running the last artillery piece on my map. Well, more than took him out. I made him disappear. Watch.
One more for you.
Then I tried to use the gun to deal with the tanks.
Max!
It's gonna work better if I can actually aim it at the tanks. It won't let me crank my aim that far, so it's pretty well useless. I took out the other 2 guns with my bazooka, so there's no chance of using one of them. Well, back to basics. I found a stash of bazooka ammo and took them out the slow way. Now, there's a tank for us sitting here, so off we go.
4 tanks closing in. This is gonna hurt. Give me some marshmallows!
Firing this tank cannon is iffy at best, so all I knew to do was point the square where I could see the puffs of smoke, shoot, and hope for the best. When Redford says this...
Okay, guys, this is it. Are you ready?
I'm ready, Sarge.
I figured I must have hit him. Well, whatever. Let's push down toward the ship.
What the hell? Artillery? But we're friendly! We're friendly!
Shut it, sweets. We're in an enemy vehicle, remember? Preston, get us out of here, fast!
Redford's explanation that we're in an enemy vehicle makes sense to explain why the Americans are shooting at us. But here's something to think about. The Russians have been doing the exact same thing all through the game. Anytime they spot one of their vehicles, they assume we're driving it and blast the crap out of it. Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
I think so, Brain. But what if the hippopotamus won't wear the beach thong?
How many of their own men and vehicles have these Russians wiped out because they were afraid they might be Americans in disguise? You know what? The Americans don't have to fight these guys. They can just pull back and go home for a while because these geniuses are most likely in the process of wiping themselves out for us. I mean, think about it. Especially on the ground, every single vehicle we've driven is one of theirs. And they can't see into most of the vehicles, so they have no idea that the people in a vehicle aren't Russian like them. But they blow everything up just in case. This has to be the dumbest freaking army on the face of the earth. Now things get really annoying, partly because of the screen prompts. The task is to fight your way into this town and blow up a couple of bridges to keep the Americans from advancing while you go find and snatch the gold. Watch this. What? I never even saw the bridges. And the Americans aren't into the town yet, so what's it talking about? I really hope I don't have to answer that. The reason I didn't blow the bridges is because, duh, I got killed. But the screen doesn't say the mission failed because I got killed. It says that I didn't climb up from my dead position, keep going and blow the bridges before the Americans got across them. How silly of me not to do that.
'Tis but a scratch.
It's unbelievable how many tries it might take to do this. They have those mounted guns everywhere. There's at least one enemy tank in town, and infantry guys pop up from just about anywhere you can think of in a few places you never thought of. Oh, and remember how when you die and respawn, the enemies you already dealt with are gone? Not anymore. You saw me take out that guy with the mounted gun on the roof, and every time I respawned, he was back and I had to do it all again. He was there every stinking time, and I had to try this close to 30 times. Want to see something that gets boring real quick? You can't change the rules on the fly like that, people. The really goofy part is, once we finally get past the bridge, we're back to the usual rules. This section gets very frustrating, so be ready. Even when you get to the bridges, you might not have the firepower to take them down. I had a bazooka, but whether I used it or picked up this C4, it takes 2 blasts of whatever you use to bring down each bridge. That's a problem with the bazooka because I only had 3 shots. And excuse me, but C4 is supposed to be one of the best explosives on the planet. 1 full-size charge should be enough to take down this. Notice that I just took off for the second bridge and didn't check to make sure the first one was destroyed. I didn't get any kind of success message, but apparently I wasn't expecting one. So at the second bridge, I did the same thing.
The present, if you're gonna commit treason and screw up the war.
Get moving.
You can see I was in desperate need of healing, so I took care of that before I stared and said, "What?" and then ran back to plant another charge.
Hey, look at that! Not a very patriotic thing to do.
Let's take the other one out.
Yeah, why not?
So now it's a race. Can we get back to the first bridge in time?
Oh, crap. They're on the bridge. There goes my Truckosaurus.
So I have to start all over again, take out all those mounted guns and everything else again. I still don't get why we changed the rules, because the way we've been playing so far, those guys should be gone once I respawn. Wait a minute. What's the name of this level again? Ghost Town? I'm fighting ghosts? No wonder they keep coming back. They're already dead. Yeah. It really is possible to blow both bridges, but clearly this level is designed to make you die several times in order to figure out how to do it. That's not nice. It's not sporting. It makes me want to smash the game disc against the wall. Then again, a lot of things in this game make me want to do that. Like this.
Hey, come on, moving into a hostile artillery controlled area. Let's go back.
We're trying to be clever. Instead of just saying, "You're out of bounds, get back in," you have this extended radio message telling you that you're now in range of enemy artillery. Even if you only stray out of bounds for a fraction of a second, you have to hear the whole thing. And why on earth is there a boundary line there where I was anyway? Look at the setting. A cliff on one side and a fence on the other. How the hell far can I stray here?
That sounds kind of... Dum 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 dum.
Swim the river and you start meeting enemies again.
Great shot, kid!
Right after that, another buggy came along and killed me. When I respawned, only the second one was there. So obviously, they make the ghosts live on the other side of the river. Wouldn't want any of their kind over here in our part of town. Anyway, you've stopped the American tanks from getting to the ship, so there's still a crack at getting the gold. But you're going to need a diversion. Fortunately, Miss July has an idea.
Bravo 1 Charlie, this is Mike 1 Juliet. If you can hear me, there's an Army recon supply drop close to your position. I'm sending you the coordinates. Guess someone appreciated your help after all. Good luck, boys. Out.
So you take care of that, then fight a path to the harbor. It gets really crazy because not only are the bad guys throwing at least 3 tanks and roughly 12,000 foot soldiers at you, the Americans are dropping bombs all over your position to boot. But you finally reach your ultimate goal. No, I was right the first time.
So, it wasn't a spook story.
Oh, no! Look at it! Yeah! Please! It's true. It's true. Tons of gold.
My thoughts exactly.
Too bad the Legionnaire has other ideas. You have to make your way to an anti-aircraft gun, which is really just your basic surface-to-air missile launcher, and take him down. Unfortunately for you, there's a ton of smoke coming off this stuff that keeps you from seeing him for more than a second or two at a time. And unlike you, he can shoot you with pinpoint accuracy, smoke or no smoke. And I'm going to stop there because I don't want to spoil the rest for you if you haven't played this game. If you have played it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you haven't, the ending is worth the effort. Check it out. I had some problems with this game, mostly because the bad guys seem to come out of nowhere and they're all around. They also have X-ray vision and can shoot you through trees and hills, and if the least little part of you is exposed even slightly, they will shoot you from 2 miles away, and they will hit you repeatedly and with great effect. Early on in the game, your squad is useful and they take down as many bad guys as you do. But as you get closer and closer to the end, they get less and less useful. You end up doing virtually everything yourself while they stand around and crack jokes. We saw a few glitches and some of the graphics are less than stellar. In particular, you saw that every house-type building in the whole game has exactly the same plan, the same flooring, the same wallpaper. It seems lazy, but that's nitpicking. And as we all know, that's somebody else's job. Overall, the game is a lot of fun. For the most part, it plays fair, though at times it's ridiculously difficult and you wonder if you're ever going to get past a certain point. Still, it's a solid shooter game, and trust me, Haggard's lines alone are worth the time it takes to play it. In good series fashion, there's a nice little cliffhanger at the end, so of course there's going to be another game for me to review since series games are what I do. So we'll check out Bad Company 2 in the near future. Until then, I'm Irving and I have no life, just like you. I hope that's enough.